main, so address, and then we have add. So the same we need to use. So localhost 5000 API / shop / address / add, right? And here we need to pass the form data. Okay, that's it. And then we are going to return response.data. So this will be to add a new address. Now let's copy this and paste it 4 times, 3 and 4. So this will be fetch all addresses. So this will be identifier will change. This fetch all address, we need the user ID, correct? And then this will be get, and here we need to, I believe we need to do this on get, and then we need to pass the user ID. Let me check once. So you have get and then user ID, right? So now we no need to pass any form data here, and this will be get. That's it. Now after this we need to do edit address, edit a address. Well, let's keep it like this. Okay, so we'll do edit address. So this will be a put. So for editing we need quite a few things. So we need the user ID, right? We need the address ID, and also we need the form data. So here we will again change this one to template literals, and then we will have our update. So we'll do /update, and / we are going to pass the user ID, / we are going to pass the address ID, right? And the rest form data will be our updated form data, and this is done. And then we'll be having delete address. So this will be delete address, access.delete, and for deleting also we are going to receive both user ID and address ID. Okay, so let's do this on delete. And for delete I think we have user ID and address ID. Okay, so we'll do user ID and / will do address ID, and no need to pass this form data. Alright, so now we have created our 4 async things. So let's quickly create our builders. So do builder dot add case. So this will be add new address dot pending. So this will be our state, and here what we'll do state dot is loading will be true. Now let's copy this. So this will be fulfilled, this will be false, and state dot address list will be, so we need to get the action right here. So we'll do action dot payload dot data, because we are getting the data here, and this will be rejected. So rejected, this will be false, and state dot address list will be empty array. Okay, so I think this will be fine. Now next what we are going to do for like getting the data, we need to do it. So for fetching also we need to do it, right? So let's copy this and then paste it here. So we will do fetch all addresses dot pending, and this will be fetch all addresses dot fulfilled, and here this will be fetch all addresses dot rejected. These two. Now one more thing is that because we will be basically checking that whether the success is true or not, and based on that we are going to fetch the list of addresses again. So it's actually not mandatory that you need to add builder for these two also. So for example delete and everything, right? The reason is because once we delete address, right, what we are going to do, we will be fetching the list of data once again. So we no need to create those two. If you want you can create it, but it's absolutely not required. Okay, if there are two scenarios. So see, whenever you will do, say when you add a new address, correct, and once the adding is successful, you need to fetch the updated addresses, right? So there are two ways to do that. The first is once you'll save the address, then call the fetching API again. So that is one way. The second way is, instead of calling the fetch API, whatever data that you are getting, so for example this address list, you can update your state, because next time when user will refresh the page, anyway they will be getting the updated data from this fetching API, correct? I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So that is the reason when we'll do edit and delete, right? For now what we're going to do, instead of doing manually state update, we are going to fetch this API here. Okay, so now what we'll do, simply I'll show you what exactly I'm telling. For your homework, what you can do, you can create this edit and delete cases also here, but now I'm going to just do export default add new addresses dot reducer. No, not add new address, this will be address slice dot reducer. So now let's go to our store and let's copy and paste it. So we'll do swap address slice. So this will be address slice, and we'll do swap address, which will be swap address slice. I think this is done, so let's log in. Okay, we are getting this, but now we need to start working on the UI side. Okay, so UI in the sense, first we'll create the basic structure and then we are going to implement our account functionality, because we already have implemented the reducers and everything, right? So we just need to connect with our front end. So let's do that in the next part. Alright, so let's start working on the address UI, right? So we'll go to swap, not here, pages, shopping view, and then account, right? And let's close everything else. So first I'll remove this part from here, and let's return here div. We'll do class name flex column, and here I'm going to take one more div, which will be class name. This will be relative. We'll do height of 300 px, width full, let's make this on 350, and we'll do overflow hidden. Now inside this I'm going to use the image that I already added, so let me just quickly import it. So to import image, we'll do account image from, so you need to go to assets and then account. So here we are going to use the source, which will be our account image. Okay, and here what else, we'll add a class name. So class name will do height as full, width as full, we'll do object cover, and we'll do object center. Okay, let's save it and let's see first how this is looking, and then based on that, yeah, I think this is looking good. If I make this on 300, how it's looking? Yeah, I think this is fine. Now after this, right, what we are going to do, we can also add some more property, like something like, if I add a width here, so let's add 1600, and height I will add 300, and we'll add some style here. Sorry, let's add some style that will add a aspect ratio of 1600 divided by 300, and we'll do object fit as cover. Okay, so I think this is fine. Now I think this part is absolutely not required if I save it, because I think we already have given in this part, right? So height is there, object cover, I think this is not required. Okay, now what we are going to do, right, we need to basically add one more component here. So let me go to the components. We need tabs component here. So let's copy this. So we'll go to cd client and paste it here. So after this, we'll take one div. Let's give a class name. So we'll do container. We'll do mx of auto. We'll do grid columns of 1, gap of 8, and py of 8. Inside this we'll take one more div, we'll do class name, we'll do flex column, we'll do rounded large, we'll do border, bg background, padding of 6 and shadow sm. Inside this we are going to use our tabs component that we have just now installed, right? So we'll have two tabs. So first one will give a default value here, which will be orders. Okay, so default value means which one will be opening for the first time on page load. Here we'll be having the tabs list, and here we need to add our tabs trigger. So we will add a value property here, which will be orders for this one, and here we'll add orders, and we'll copy this and paste it here, and this will be our address. Okay, and after this you need to add tabs content. So here again you need to pass the value property. So for this one, this will be orders, and let's copy and paste it, and this will be address, right? So now whatever you will be adding here, this will be able to see if I add some random value, right? Save it, refresh this page. Okay, I think it's loading. Let's wait for some time. All right, so you can see that we're getting this, right? So this is fine. So now we need to create two components. One will be for orders and one will be for address. So let's go here inside our components, shopping view, and then I'll create here orders.jsx, and I'm going to create one more, which will be not account. We'll give this one as, let's give this on address. So we'll give address.jsx, right? So now let's create this. So we'll do address, let's copy this and let's paste it here. So this will be orders, and now we are going to import it here. So we are going to import the orders, and here I'm going to import the address. Okay, so this is done. So now the first thing, we need to create our address view. So how this will work, right? So in the address view we'll be having a form, simple form, and then we'll be having the list of address, and also we'll give permission user to add a maximum 3 addresses. Okay, now it's up to you, you can add some different features also, but for now I'm going to give this user to add only maximum 3 addresses. So here what I've done, right, again I already created some address form control. So you can see that a level which is address, then city, pin code, phone, and notes. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this, and then we'll go to our config. Now again I'll share everything in code, you'll be able to get it from there. If you, I'm pretty sure you'll also not be able to write these things are very repetitive. So these will be our address form controls, and then go to our address page, and here we are going to first create our structure. So here we are going to return a card component, and this place I'm going to keep a placeholder. So here I'm going to render the address list, okay, here, and after this we will be having a card header. So here I'm going to render a card title, and I'll do add new address. All right, after this we are going to take a card content, and what we need to do, we'll give us some spacing here. So we'll do class name, we'll do space y of 4, we'll make this on 3. So we need to render our common form, you remember, and for this one also we need to manage some kind of addresses here. So what we'll do, we'll take some form data, and we'll do set form data, and this will be use state of initial form data, right? So let's make initial address form data. So we'll create this. So what we're going to do, we'll take const initial address form data. So this will be address will be empty, city will be empty, phone will be empty, pin code and everything else will be empty, and also notes will be empty. That's it. So now what we're going to do, simply pass this. So what we need to pass, we need to pass form controls, which will be our address form controls that we have added here, this part. Then we need to pass the form data, which will be our form data. We need to pass the set form data, which will be set form data. We need to pass a button text, which I'll do add, and also need to pass a on submit, which I'll do handle manage address. Copy this and create this function here, and this will be a, will take event and we'll do event dot prevent default. Save it. See, we don't have to do anything, like it's automatically created everything. This is the advantage. Now this is done. So now we have order and addresses. So we'll add a new address. We need to call the API and then we need to fetch it, and then based on that we are going to render. So to render this one, right, what we are going to do, we'll create one more component here, which will be our address card. So we'll do address card dot JSX. We'll keep this one clean so that we don't have many code in one single component. Address card, and here we are going to return some div. So let's create this component. This will be very simple. Not div, will return some card, will show some kind of card here, and here we're going to do card header, right? I think it's not required. Let's only render the card content. So we'll give a class name. So here this will be grid and gap of 4, and inside this we're going to take one more div, and here what we're going to do, right, let's render. I think we can render only the label part. So we'll do label, and we'll render the this address will receive. So we'll render address dot address, because we'll be having the address info, right? So let's make this on address info. Okay, let's copy this and paste it some 3-4 times. This will be city, then this will be our pin code, then this will be what else we are having, phone, and then we are having the notes, right? And we'll keep this on simple. So this is what our address card will be. All right, now we will go to our address and we'll handle some of the things. So first thing we are going to do, right, so here we'll handle like is form valid or not. So we'll do is form valid. So here we're going to return, I think this part also you have done, that object dot keys of form data dot map key. So here we are going to do form data of key, if this is not equal to empty, dot every item has to be true. Okay, so if this form is not valid, so we're going to check is button disable, which will be if this form is not valid, right? So if I save it, see, it is now disabled, right? We will need to add all of this, then only it will work. Now you can also make this on trim. You can also trim this like dot trim, then also it will work. Like now this will not work, so you need to give some value. Awesome. Now everything else is done, so we just need to call the API, and then we need to basically call API in the sense means whatever slices that we have created, correct? So those we are going to call. So here I think let's go to shop and address slice. So this edit address, delete, fetch and add. So 4 slices we are going to call, not 4 slices, sorry, the async thunk, and then we are going to render the list of addresses. Once this part is completed, right, then we are going to start working on the checkout page. Okay, so let's do this in the next part. Alright, so let's start integrating with our front end and back end. So here what are you going to do, right? So let's go to our handle manage address. So first thing we need, so we need our dispatch, which will be use dispatch, and let me close this. So first we think what are the things that we need, right? So we need form data. Now we also need to pass the user ID. So if I go to the model, right, so let's go to the model once. So we have our address model, so you can see that we also have user ID that we need to pass. So to get the user ID, we are going to get it from our store. So we'll do user, which will be use selector state. So we'll do state dot auth. So now here simply we'll do dispatch. So we'll do dispatch, we'll do add new address, and here we need to pass the form data, as well as we need to pass the user ID, which will be user dot id, right, because this is the ID that we're giving. And dot, then now we are going to simply log this data, and let's see what is happening here, right? So now let's open our console. Let's go to network first, and I'll give some address like USA, give some random value, okay. Phone number I'll give, some notes. Now let's click on add. It's 200, and you can see that it's added successfully. Awesome. So now simply we'll do if data dot payload dot success, this is true. So what we're going to do, right, so we need to make one more change that I'm thinking, that when we are doing this fulfilled, right, because we are actually fetching the list of address again, we no need to do this state dot address list here. We can remove this, okay. Same thing for here. So we're only managing in our fetch address. Save it. And now here we need to first do a dispatch, and we'll do fetch all addresses. And here what we need to pass, so if I go to this fetch all address, let's go there. So we need the user ID, so we'll pass the user dot id, right. We also need to make the set form data, which will be initial address form data. Now we need to check whether we are getting this or not, right. So we'll copy this, and we'll get the address list, correct, and this will get from swap address. So let's copy and see what you're getting. So the address list, save it. So let's see what you're getting in the address list. Go here. Okay, we are getting empty, but this part we need to check why we are getting empty. Oh, okay, I got it now. Why we are getting empty, because we need to fetch it on page load also, correct. So that is the reason. So we'll do a dispatch, and we'll simply do a dispatch of fetch all addresses, and we'll pass the user dot id. Now this will work. Let's go to console. Address list is 1. Awesome job. That's it. And this is done, right? We are getting updated and everything. So whatever things that we need to add, that we can add it here. And now the first thing, we are going to render it, the address list here, correct. So what we can do, right, simply, so let's do one thing before. Where is the place that we have added this? Okay, so let me just remove this part from here, and we'll give a class name. So we'll do margin bottom of 5, padding of 3. We'll do grid columns of 1. For SM we'll do grid columns of 2. For MD we'll do grid columns of 3, right. And for, I think, let's say how this is looking, based on that we'll do, and we'll do gap of 2. And here we are going to check if this address list and an address list dot length greater than 0. So we're going to map it. So we'll do address item, or let's give something different, single address item, and we're going to call the address card, and we need to pass the address info, which will be single address item, right. And if there is nothing, we'll just enter null. So let's save it. Let's see what you're getting. Okay, we are getting this one, but let's add some padding here. So padding of 4. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. Also one interesting, not interesting, like thing what we can do, we can add this thing here. So we'll do city, and we'll do pin code, we'll do phone, and we'll do notes. That's it, right? And I think this is done. So now let's see if we have added. So we'll do new address, added city, I'll do USA or something, pin code I'll give some random value, phone number also I'll give some random value, notes I'll give this. Let's add. Awesome, that's it. Now what we need to do, we need to add two things. So we'll add a card footer, correct, and we need a button which will be to edit, and we need one more button which will be to delete. Let's save it and let's see how this is looking. So let's make this one class name, we'll do this one as flex, justify between edit and delete, and we'll keep this one simple, right? We no need to make those things. And for this card footer, we'll do padding of 0, padding of 0, but we'll do padding top of 1, padding bottom of 1. Let's see how this is looking. No, I think we need to, okay, let's do one thing, let's give a padding of 1. Okay, let's give padding of 2, we'll give 3, yeah, padding of 3. I think this is fine. Awesome. So now we need to start working on the edit and delete. First let's implement the delete functionality because it will be easy. So here what we will receive, we'll receive a on click, and this will be handle delete address, and we'll pass the address info, and this also we're going to receive here, and we'll receive one more which will be handle edit. So let's copy this and we're going to paste it here, and this will be handle edit. Okay, so these two we are going to create here. So first one will be our function handle edit. Now one more thing what I'm thinking, let's do one thing, let's manage this edit and this edit and add in one method only. Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to show you that how we are going to do that. So first I will create handle delete one, so we'll remove this handle edit for now. First let's concentrate on this delete part. So we'll remove this, and then I'm going to create handle delete address, and we'll do get current address. So what we need to do, so if we delete, right, when we are deleting we are passing this user ID and the address ID, so both we need to pass. So how we are going to get the address ID, let's log this here, then you'll be able to understand. Get current address, right? Let's save it, let's open console and then click on delete. Handle delete is not a function, we haven't passed it here, sorry. We need to pass handle delete address, which will be handle delete address. So we'll delete, so we're getting this ID, right? This is our ID, this is the address ID, this we need. So we'll simply do here, very simple, that we'll do dispatch and we'll do delete address, and we'll pass the user ID, which will be user.id, and address ID, which will be your get current address.id. Okay, now once this is done, again I know you all already know the process, so if this data.payload.success, if this is true, so we're going to do dispatch and then fetch all address. So we're going to fetch all the addresses. So this is the part I was talking about, that if you're fetching every time, then you don't need to do any kind of extra thing. So save it. Now let's see what is happening. Let's go to our network tab, let's delete this one, deleted, awesome, and this is working fine. Now let's add one more address, some random value, and let's add, it's added, right? Awesome. So now this part is done. Now next thing we need to start working on the edit. For edit, what I will do, right, I will take one more state which will store the current edited ID, and I think this part we have already done previously. So look, current edited id, current edited id is fine, and then we'll do set current edited id, which will be use state of null. And here we are going to pass this set current edited id, which will be the set current edited id, and we are going to also pass the set form data, which will be your set form data. Now two ways we can do that. I think okay, let's do one different way. Okay, sorry again, I'll do a different way. I think that will be better. Instead of passing both, right, what I'll do, I'll pass a handle edit address only. Previously what we were doing, so I'll do handle edit address. What we'll do, right, copy this and let's go here, and then we are going to again call it from here. So we'll do on click and we'll call this handle edit address and we'll pass the address info. So this is the first step. Now we will create this. So we'll do function handle edit get current address. So here we are going to do like set current edited id, which will be get current address dot id. I hope you are getting. So this whenever I'll click on this edit, that time I need to save the current edited id, and also I need to fill this form. So to fill this form, what we can do, simply we'll do set form data, and here we need to pass the exact form data. And what we can do, simply get this, I'll copy this, and this will be get current address dot address. So the existing data I am just doing, this will be phone, this will be pin code, and this will be notes. So this will be notes, this will be pin code, this will be city, and this will be phone. Let's save it. Now let's see what is happening. If I click on edit, right, see, if we click on edit, this one, see, this changing, right, value is changing. Also when this will be edit, I'll do this on edit new edit address, I'll change this one to edit. This also we need to do, and this I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do it very easily, right? So we'll simply check if this current, we'll check if this current edited id is not equal to null. So we'll do edit address, or we'll do add new address. Okay, so this is the first step, and again once again I'll copy this and then I'll pass it here, that if this is edit, we'll do edit, or else we'll do add. So now this will be edit. This is done. Now when we'll edit this one, what do we need to do? We need to check it here. This part also we have done, so we'll check it here, that when we are editing, so if this current edited id is not equal to null, so we need to dispatch the edit action. So we'll do dispatch and we'll do edit a address, correct, and see what are the things that we are passing. We're passing three things: user id, address id, and form data. So we'll pass the user id, which will be our user.id, address id, this will be our current edited id, correct, and form data will be our form data. Dot then, so we'll get the data, and we'll see if this data dot payload dot success, if this is true. So quite a few things we need to do. First we need to get the updated addresses, so dispatch fetch all address. We'll do set current edited id as null, and we'll do set form data as initial form data, correct, or else we are going to do this on add. So both edit and delete. So first we are checking if this is not null, we'll dispatch this action. If this is success, we'll get the list of address again updated with the updated data, then current edited id null, and set form data will be this. Now let's see. Now I'm going to refresh this page. Let's go to address and let's click on edit. I'm going to make this one to India, and I'll do this on India. Let's try to edit. We're getting some error, right? Okay, Okay, it's not calling anything, but why is that? Okay, what is the problem? It's not triggering the API call only, right? Okay, let's see here. We are checking not null, edit address. This will be put. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, now let's see. Once refresh this. Now let's go to address, and I'm going to edit this. Let's make this one to India, and then I'm going to edit this one. We are getting undefined. Okay, oh sorry. Okay, once again we have mistake, because we need to pass the user.id. okay, so that is the reason. So now let's refresh this once again. So we'll go to address. Now this will be automatically getting changed, but if I edit this, let's do this on to Nepal, and then I'm going to do edit. Now this is getting changed, this is also getting resetted. Also we can do one more thing, and that is, let's take a toast. So we'll do toast, which will be use toast, and just like we have done, so here also you can show like toast, title like address updated successfully. Okay, and let's copy this, and we'll do it here, address added successfully. Also one more thing we need to do, and that is, yes, one more thing we need to do, and that is here, right? We'll check if this address list dot length, this length greater than 3, so we'll return a toast that title will be you can add max 3 addresses. Okay, and then variant I'm going to give this one as destructive. And then also you need to return from here, so we'll do return. Okay, now let's see once what is happening, whatever things we have done. Refresh this, go here, and now add one more address. Okay, and now I'm going to add it, address added successfully. Edit this to again once again India. I'll do city Bangalore, and now edit, address updated successfully. This is updated, and now what will happen if you try to add more, right? And then this, see what will happen if I add. Oh, something is going wrong here. Address length is greater than 3 we've done. That is the mistake we've done. We need to do greater than or equal to. So okay, this will be greater than or equal to 3, right? So now I think this would work. Let's add one more. Sorry, paste, and paste. See, also we'll reset this form, right? So we'll do set form data as initial form data, initial address form data, and when we are deleting, that time also we'll add some toast, that address deleted successfully. That's it. So now if I go back, right, and refresh this, so we'll do, let's say deleted successfully, and add one more. So here and this add it, but if you try to add one more time, see, awesome, right? Now I'll do edit, and we'll do Nepal edited. Oh, this time we need to do, awesome, this is a very interesting thing, right? Yes, so here we need to check if this is greater than or equal to 3, and we need to check if this current edited id is not if this is equal to null. Okay, so if this current edited id is equal to null, then only we'll be checking this, or else you can't like edit also. So this is the reason, right? So now this is a very good point that I've noticed, or else I'll miss this. So now we'll be able to edit this at least. See, address updated successfully, but you'll not be able to add it. So if I try to add, right, so now this time the edited id is null, so we'll add. See, now you're getting you can add max 3 address, but edit you can do edit. Yes, so now this part is completed, so we can add only 3 addresses. Next thing what we need to do first, let's go to our cart page once. We need to do one more thing, and that is we have our cart wrapper, and here we are having the checkout, right? On click of this, we need to go to the checkout page. So we'll go to the checkout page. So we have navigate, so we'll go to /shop/checkout, and here we need to take the navigate. So we'll do const navigate will be our use navigate. Okay, so if I click here and let's say go to the checkout, so it's going to the checkout page. Okay, so now this part is done. Next thing, we will start working on the checkout page UI, and after that we'll start working on, see, first what I'm thinking, right, we'll do one more thing, and that is first I'm going to complete the orders UI page, orders UI, and then we are going to open order details model. Those part we are going to implement. The reason is because for this order page, right, the view will be same as the shopping and the admin. Okay, sorry if you are getting any noise. So for this we will be having like same view for both shopping and admin view. The only difference is for the admin view we are going to render a drop down kind of thing that admin will be able to update the order status. So that will be the only difference. Okay, so this part we are going to create. So two things we'll create the checkout page UI and the orders page UI, and after that we'll start working on the PayPal, or basically creating the order. So let's do this in the next part. Alright everyone, so first we are going to create the checkout layout. Okay, so let's go to our pages, checkout. Alright, so let's go to the checkout page first. Now one more thing what we need to do, right? Okay, let's do one thing. We'll go to our components, and then let's go to header, and here we are having the set open cart set component, and I believe we are having this user cart wrapper, right? So here we are having this button, this navigate to checkout. So what we'll do, right, so we'll pass the set open cart set as a prof here, that will be receiving. So once we'll navigate, right, we will basically close this. So we'll navigate, and then we'll do set open cart set will be false. So let's say if I go to home and let's open and click here, so again the checkout page. Awesome. So now we are going to start working on the checkout layout. First I'm going to take a div, and we are going to take a class name, and we'll do flex and flex column. Alright, now let's take a div with a class name. We'll do relative, we'll do height of 300. So we are basically going to render that same image that we have used in the account page, and we'll do overflow hidden. Alright, so here we're going to take an image, and we'll do import image from, so we'll go to assets and then account. So this one we are going to use, so we'll do source, and this will be this image. Then we are going to use a class name which will be height of full, width of full, object cover, and object center. Save it. So getting this. Now after this we need to basically render the address, because see, user will be able to select address from this page also. Okay, so we are going to take a div, and we are going to take a class name, and we'll do grid columns of 1. For SM we'll do grid columns of 2, and gap we are going to do as 3. Let's do it, and margin top of 5 and padding of 5. Okay, and here we are going to import the address component. Okay, if I save it, you see we are getting this address. Now what we can do basically here also we can manage, like we can only show 2 addresses, that is also fine, but for now let's keep it like this at least. Or we can do one more thing, and that is, let's go here. So I think here we are having let's make this one merge. For MD, for SM we'll do 2 only, so I think this will show only 2. Okay, this is fine. So now we are going to we render the address, and here we are going to render on the right side the cart items. Okay, so here we are going to take a class name, we'll do flex column and gap of 4, and we are going to render the cart items. So cart items we are going to receive, so we'll do cart items, so we'll do use selector state, and we'll do state dot shop cart. Correct. So this is what we are having, the cart items here, and these we are going to render it here. So we'll do cart items and then cart items dot length. If this is greater than 0, see the number of times I have done these things, so now it's like I no need to check the variable name and everything also. So we'll do cart item, and here we are going to render the cart. What is the name that you have given? Let me check, I'm not exactly sure that part. Cart items content is the name. We have user cart items content. Okay, so user cart item contents, and here what it will receive, it will receive the cart item, which will be my cart item here. Okay, and let's do this on item only, or else this will be null. Now you can also show like your cart is empty or something, but we don't have the cart is coming, that means the variable name is different. Okay, so let's see it. I think cart list or cart items only it is. Okay, this is weird. Why it is not coming? Okay, let's log in. Cart, I think we already have items, so let's go to the checkout, but we are not getting anything here. This is actually weird. Okay, we'll see this. So let's save it. Or oh, I think I got it. I again done some mistake there. I think we need to pass the items of this cart item, because we have items inside of this. That is the reason I'm like 100% sure of this. I think, see if I go here, right, we have checkout page object, and then here we are having items. Exactly. So we need to basically do it, and cart items dot items, and then cart items dot items dot length greater than 0. So we're going to map this. Now it should come. Awesome. So we're getting 4 cart items. Also let's do one thing, we'll do gap of 5 here. Okay, so getting the cart items. Now what we need to do, we need to render the total. So we'll take a div, and I think total we can also take it from our cart wrapper only. I think here we have rendered the total, right? So we have something like this part. So we'll copy this. Let's see how this is looking. Based on that we'll do, and we'll paste it here, and total cart amount will just take from here. So we'll do copy this, and we will paste it here. So this will be our, instead of cart items dot items and cart item dot items. Okay, so now let's save it. Okay, I think I have pasted it in the wrong place, sorry for that. So we need to cut it from here, and we need to paste it after this. Okay, so we're getting total, and what else we need to render after here, we'll take one more div and we'll render the button, which will be like checkout with PayPal, right? Class name we'll take, we'll do margin top of 4, and we'll do width as full. But why it is not coming full width? So we need to give here also. Okay, and I think this will be our checkout page structure, and you can see that this is also looking very good, right? So now this checkout with PayPal will obviously be disabled until unless we'll fill all the fields and all the necessary field. But I just want to implement this structure. Now this is done. Now next we are going to implement our orders page. Okay, so here also we're going to we'll keep this one very simple, and we'll just render the list of products, sorry, the orders, and once we'll click any button we are going to open a model, and for the same structure we are going to use in the admin view also. So let's do one thing. So let's go to our orders page. So this is our orders page, correct? Now if you notice here we have two orders page. We'll be having one orders for our shopping view and one for the admin view. The reason again I'm repeating, I'm creating separate so that it will be easy to manage. So this will be our orders.jsx. So here we have shopping view and this is the admin view, correct? So we'll do shopping orders, and this will be our admin orders. Alright, so here we need to basically import it account. In our account we are importing orders, right? We need to do shopping orders, and we can remove this from here. Okay, now let's implement this here. So we also install one more thing, and that is we need the table. So we'll keep the basic table only. So we'll install this part. Okay, so let's remove this. So here again we are going to take a card. Inside this we'll have a card header, and then we'll be having a card title. So we'll do order history, and the same thing we are going to do side by side for the admin view also. And for this one it will be all orders, correct? Because admin will be able to see all the orders. See how this will be easy if I do side by side, and the structure also will be same almost. Okay, so after this we are going to take our card content, and here we will be importing our table, and we will be having our table header. Inside this table header you will be having the table row. So do table row, and here you will be having the table header. So do table not table header, table head, both is different, table head. And here we're going to give, let's say we have order ID, and we will also keep the date of the order. So we'll do order date, right? And we will do order status and the order price. Okay, and this will be our status. That's it. After this we will take one more table head. So we'll do table head, and here we are going to do simply so what we can do, right, simply we'll add some span here, and this will be our details, but I'm not going to show this one. So I'm going to do class name, we'll do ASR only, we'll do ASR only. Let's see how this is looking, right? Based on that we'll check order ID, order status and order price, and this part is empty. This is correct. So now once the header is done, we are going to take the table body. So table body, and inside table body again you will be having the table row. Okay, so this will be your table row, and for each and every table row we are going to have the data, and then at the end we'll be having the details, order details, and on click of that order details we are going to basically render the dialog that we need to show. Okay, so for this one what we'll do for now, we'll keep this one very simple. So let's say we'll take a table cell, and I'll give some value like 1 2 3 4 5 6, and we'll paste it, and we'll give some date, let's say 27th 06 2024. Then we are having the status, so I'll do in process, and then we are having the price, so I'll do here $1000, and the last table cell, right, I'm going to take a button component and I'll do view details. Let's see how this is looking. Awesome, right? So we are having order history, order ID, order date, status. On click of this, we're going to open a dialog, correct? So now the exact same structure we are going to use for our this admin view also. So we'll copy this, so go to admin view. So after this I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to import all of this one by one. So we need table, we'll need table header, table row, table head, and also you need table body and table cell. Okay, so now let's open our incognito, or what else, we'll just log out for now. Okay, and let's log in with our admin account. So we'll go to orders and let's go to our admin pages, admin view and orders. So what we'll do, right, simply for now inside this div, so let's return the admin orders, or what is the name that we have given. I think admin orders only, right? Okay, let me import it. Oh, okay. Oh, same orders, that name we have given. Okay, let's change this one to admin orders view. Okay, so we'll do admin orders view. So what is the error that we'll getting? Let's see. Button is not defined. Awesome. Okay, so we need to do it. So we'll just do button. Alright, that's it. So we'll keep this on simple, right? So we'll have all products and orders, and we'll click of this, we're going to open the dialog. So now this part is done, so let's start working on the dialog. Again, for the dialog also I'm going to keep this on both separate. Okay, so for although the content will be exactly same, but I'm going to keep this one separate. That is also just for it is simpling purposes. If I will do it for myself, then I'm going to create in a same page, but for now if I do for this video purposes, for a beginner point of view, it will be complicated. So that is the reason we are going to create two dialog. One will be for the shopping view and one will be for the admin view. Okay, so let's do that in the next part. Alright everyone, so let's create our order details view, right? So first we'll start with our admin view. So here I'm going to create order details.jsx. Okay, so let's close everything else. So first thing we'll do function admin order details view. So for both we are going to render some kind of dialog. Okay, so we'll do dialog content, and inside this we'll give a class name. So we're going to give smmaxw, and we're going to give this one as 600px. Now after this we'll take a div, we'll take a class name, we'll do grid gap of 6, and here we'll take another div with a class name grid gap of 2, and here we are going to take another div class name flex item center justify between, and I'm going to take one more. Let's take a p, and this will be class name. I'll give font medium, so this will be my order ID, right? And then after this we're going to take one label, and this will be my order ID. So I'll do 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now how we are going to show it, right? So to render this, what we need to do, we'll save it. We'll go to our orders page. So let's go to admin view, then orders. So we have admin orders view, correct? Now here if you noticed, we have this button in the table cell, correct? So first I'm going to wrap this in a dialog, and inside this I'm going to take the button view details, and we need to pass the open and on open change, correct? So we'll do open details dialog, and on open change will be set open details dialog. So now let's copy this and let's create this state here. So look const open details dialog and set open details dialog, and this will be use state of false. Okay, now when you click on this button, so do one click. So we're going to do set open details dialog will be true, and after this we are going to render the details view, so which will be admin orders details view. Let's save it. So now what will happen if I click here? See, we are getting this one, right? Now also if I go here, right, we also need to give some, so let's give a margin top of 6. Okay, so you're getting order ID. Now after this order ID, what we're going to render, we'll copy this. So we're going to render the order date. So we'll give some date here. Then we also going to render our status, and admin can basically update the status also, right? So what we're going to do, we'll copy this and we'll do status here, order status we'll keep, and we'll keep this one as, let's say, in progress, in process. Save it and let's see. For everyone I think we no need, so we'll do margin top 2, this will be 2. Order ID, order status, in process, and then we are going to render the price. So let's put the price here, and we'll give $500 or whatever price. Okay, so this is done. So now we'll have 4 things, order ID and everything. Now after this, what we'll do, simply we'll take a separator component, and here we are going to render the order details. So we'll take a div and we'll take a class name, we'll do grid gap of 4. Alright, we'll take one more div, we'll take a class name, we'll do grid gap of 2, and here we are going to render a let's render a div, and we'll do like order details. Okay, so for this one also we'll do a class name of font medium. So we're getting order details. In the order details, we will basically render our items. So what are the items that user has already ordered? So we'll take a UL, we'll take a class name, we'll do grid gap of 3, and what else we are going to do? So we'll keep it like this. Grid gap of 3, and then here we are going to take the li. So here we will do class name, we'll do flex item center and justify between. Okay, so here we are going to render the product name, so do span, let's say product 1, and also you're going to render the price, so which will be, let's say, 100. Product 1 and the price. Okay, let's increase this, it's looking very bad. Alright, so after this we are going to render all the products like this, and then once this part is done, so we are going to take the similar thing and we'll render the shipping information or the address basically, and we'll take this part here, grid gap of 2, and then we're going to take the shipping info or the address info, so we'll do shipping info. So here what we are going to render, will be rendering the address information, correct? So simply we'll take some div, we'll take a class name, we'll do grid gap of 0.5, okay, and we'll do text muted foreground, and here we are going to render the customer name, so let's say John Doe, or basically the username. We'll render the address, so we'll render the address here, we'll render the city, pin code, phone number. So we'll do city, pin code, phone, and also we're going to render the notes. So this will be the shipping info. That's it. And what else we need? I think we also need to render some payment info, right? How much payment the customer, I think that we have already showing here the order. If required, then we are going to add some more details here. I think for now this will be fine. And at the end we need one thing, and that is we need another section. You'll understand what I'm doing. So we'll do common form, and here I'm going to pass the form controls. So here what are the things we'll pass, right? Let's go to our config and let's copy one of these controls that we have. So let's copy the select, so this one. So I'm going to copy this part from here and let's paste it here, right? So we'll give this one name as label will be status. We'll do order status, and this will be our status component select. So this will be like in process. This will be what else, in shipping. Okay, this will be like rejected. In process. And what else we will do? We'll do pending ones. Okay, first time it will be like, let's say I want to do pending or something, that will do. So we'll do pending. So this will be pending. And also we need, obviously we need the delivered. Okay, so this will be our form status. And now I'm going to create a status one. So we'll do const status, we'll do forms data and set form data, and this will be use state of initial form data. So here I'm going to take const initial form data, which will be our status will be empty. Okay, that's it. So here I'm going to pass the form data, which will be form data, and set form data will be set form data. And then we're going to do a button text, which will be update order status. Correct. Also we need a on submit, which will be handle update status. So these things we have already created beforehand, it will be easy. So function handle status will do event, so that we can do the payment part, which I know everyone basically love to do in peace. So once we'll complete all of this, save it, and let's see what we're getting. See, we're getting update status, order status, pending, rejected, and everything, and update form status, and we are getting this one. This is looking also pretty good. The same thing, exact same thing we are going to do in the order details for our shipping view also, right? So we are going to create order details here also. So we'll do order details.jsx. So similarly this one, this will be a shopping order details view. So we'll do function, we'll do shopping order details view. Again we are going to return the same thing. I'm not going to write exact thing because we'll be using same. Only for this one we don't have any update status option. That is the only difference. So remove this. Okay, and then I'm going to obviously import all of this. So we need dialog content, we need label. What else we need? We need separator. I think that's it. Now let's go to our shopping page in the where is that, account, right? And here we are having this order, shopping orders, and here we are doing this view details, correct. So here we need to take this dialog, and here I'm going to pass it here, and then we are going to import the shopping details, order details view. So here again we'll do open, which will be open details dialog, and on open change will be set open details dialog. So we'll create this to const open details dialog, comma, set open details dialog, and this will be use state of false. And then on click of this button we are going to show this. So we'll do on click, so we'll do set open details dialog will be true. Let's save it and let's see what exactly we are getting. So for this one we need to basically go to the shopping. Let me pause it, I think you'll get some noise. Alright, so now let's log out once and let's log in into the shopping view and let's see what we're getting. So let's go to the account, and if I click on this view details, we are getting this one, right? So order details we'll be able to see, but we can't do any action here. And I think almost every page is done, but obviously there will be a part 2, as I already told you that we are going to do some advanced medium level of features, but first we need to implement the payment and then we are going to start working on those things. Okay, so let's start working on the payment part from the next part, basically the creating orders and everything. All right, so for payment we are going to use PayPal, right? So before starting, right, I want to discuss some of the things that you need to have. The first thing is that you need to have a sandbox test accounts, and for that you need the access to the PayPal developer dashboard. So how you are going to get it? See, to access this one you also need to have a PayPal account. If you have a PayPal account, you need to go to this developer.paypal.com and then you can go to /dashboard. Now here the first thing, if I go right on this app and credentials, so let's go here, you'll see that once if you already have a PayPal dashboard, there will be a default application that is created already, and here we'll be getting the client ID and the secret ID from here. But if you want, you will be able to also create a new app from here. So if you do create app, right, so here you need to basically give the name of the app, platform, and then you'll be able to select like which account you need to test. And also very important, you can see that currently it is in the sandbox mode. If you want to do this on live, you need to change it here. Okay, now one more thing I need to discuss, that when, let's say for example, very important, let's say you are using this dummy demo app here, and you're using this client ID and secret ID, and if you go to this demo app, you'll see that there will be a sandbox account info. Because you are a seller, means you are selling the product, if you use the same email and the password, it will not work. Okay, so it will give you error, like you will not be able to log in or basically buy products using your seller credentials. So how you are going to do this? So first you need to create the app. The second step is you need to go to the sandbox accounts. Very important. So once you go to the sandbox accounts, here you can basically create a dummy account, and once you create any personal account, if you notice, right, I have a business account and I have a personal account. And if I now log in using this personal account, then I'll be able to basically buy product or do the testing. And for this one, again, it will be in the test account, so it will not be a real transaction or anything, right? So this is one very important thing I want to mention. And for this one, we are going to use this PayPal REST SDK. But before that, we need to do a lot of things now, so we'll start one by one. Okay, and the first thing what I'm going to do, we'll start with creating our model, and we'll create our order.js. Now let's do step by step. Okay, because I'm pretty much sure that I also will get some error here, and it is actually not an issue. We are going to fix it. So here we're going to do const order schema, and I'm going to do new mongoose.schema. Now we need a lot of things here. Okay, first thing, we need a user ID, which will be a string. Then we need the cart items, right? And here I'm going to do this on, right, something like, so let's do like this. We will pass only the cart items here. We no need to pass any cart ID or something. So in the items, what we are going to pass, right, we will pass the ID of that item. So each and every product ID, basically, let's give this one name as product ID, which will be a string, right? We'll pass the title of the product, which will also be a string, and we'll pass the image of the product, which will be a string. We'll pass the price of the product, which will be a string, and also we'll pass the sale price of that product, which will be a string. So these will be our cart items. So we have product ID, we have title, we have image, price, and sale price. Okay, this thing. Next we are having the address. So we'll have address, and in the address what we are going to do, we will pass the address ID, which will pass as string. Okay, we'll pass the address, which will be a string, and let's make this one name as address info, right? So this will be string. Then we'll pass the city, which will be a string. We'll pass the pin code, string. Phone number, we'll keep this one as string, and also we have a notes, right? So this also we are going to pass as string. So this, for address we need this one. Then we need our order status, which will also be a string. What else we need? We also need a payment method, which will be string, right? Then we need the payment status, that whether the payment is successful or not. This also will be a string. Then we need the total amount. So total amount, we are going to do this one as number, and also we are going to do a created order date. We'll do order date. So we'll do order date, which will be a date. And what else we need? We'll do order update date. So if we are updating something, then we are going to update. So we'll do order update order update date. We'll do order update date, order update date, which also will be a date. And we are going to pass payment ID. So payment ID we are going to receive basically, or else we'll pass some dummy value, or we are going to also pass the payer ID. Okay, so this also will be a string. So these many things we needed here. So we need user ID, we need the cart items, that what are the carts that are present, we need the address info, we need the order status, we also have the user ID already, and we need the payment method, payment status, total amount, order date, order update date, payment method, and payer ID. Alright, so now we are going to export this. And okay, one more thing we need to add here, right? So we need to also pass the quantity, that how many quantity is basically where that user is buying for that particular product. So now we'll do module.exports, and we'll do mongoose.model, and we'll pass the order, and then we'll pass the order schema. That's it. So now this is done. Next thing what we're going to do, right, we need to install this package. So let's go here, let's copy this, and then I'll open another terminal here, and let's go to our server folder and then paste it here. So first we need to create a configuration for our PayPal. Okay, so what we're going to do, we already have a helper function here. So here I'm going to create let's create something like, we'll give PayPal, so we'll do paypal.js. so here we'll do const PayPal, and this will be require. So you need the PayPal REST SDK, and after this we'll do PayPal.configure. so here you need to pass the mode, right? So mode, we are going to do this on a sandbox. Then we need to pass the client ID, and also you need to pass the client secret ID. Now again, don't use this, obviously I'm not going to push all these changes. We are going to also change all of this to our environment file, but for now let's use it from here. So I'll go to app and credentials, let's use some, right? So we'll click on this demo app I already created. It's very simple, so you just need to create it, and then from here you'll get the client ID. So I'll copy this, and then you also need to use the secret key, and then you will copy this here. Okay, so this will create our configuration, and then we'll do module.exports, and we are going to export the PayPal. So this is done. So now what we need to do, we need to create our controller, correct? So what are the things, how this process will work? Let me just explain first. see, when we will click on this button, right, it will basically, we are going to call a create order controller. What this create order controller will do, so this will create a payment JSON that PayPal requires, and then PayPal will create a create method, and there we need to basically pass that payment information, or basically all the information, the transaction, the amount and the description, redirect URL and everything. So once we'll do that, it will basically generate a approval URL. If there is a approval URL, that means your payment is actually successful. So in that case, what will happen, you will be getting a payment ID and also will be getting a payer ID. If you are getting both, so what we are going to do, we are going to redirect that user to a PayPal return page, or basically payment processing page, whatever you can name. And in that processing page, we are going to again call another method which will capture the payment. So one will be create payment and one will be capture payment. So in the capture payment, what we are going to do, in the create payment method, we will already save that order in our database, but the only difference is the order status will be pending. Just notice this one carefully, and the order status will be also pending. Once that capture payment is successful, that means PayPal payment is successful, we are going to change that payment status from pending to completed. And if the payment is completed, then only that order will be basically will be able to save that particular, not save that particular order, will be able to process that order. But if the payment status is not completed, then that order will be considered as a failure. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Now first thing, we will create our controller, and here inside shop I'm going to create, let's create order controller.js. Now we'll do step by step here. So we'll create const create order. This will be async request response, and here we'll take a try catch. So here we're going to log error, and we'll return a 500. False, and message will show error. Let's show some error occurred. Okay, and also we need one more, which will be to capture the payment. So we'll do capture payment, something like that. We'll do capture payment. Okay, and then I'm going to do module.exports. So we'll do create order, and then we'll do capture payment, both. Okay, so now what we are going to do, right, what here we will do in this method, we are going to save that order in our database. In this method, we are going to check that whether this order is successful or not. By what? By this PayPal payment information, that if the payment is successful, then only. So here inside this try, now we are going to get all the information. Okay, we need the user ID, then we need the cart items, we need the address info, correct? Then we'll need the order status, then we have the payment status. Let me just copy this and then we'll remove from here directly. So paste it here. So we need payment status. Okay, and then we'll remove this. This is just a shortcut. Okay, now we'll just cut it from here and then we'll paste it here. Then this we are going to get it from where? We'll be getting from request dot body, correct? So these all the things we are going to receive. Now what we need to do, basically we need to create a payment JSON, and that payment JSON will help us to create our PayPal payment instance. So we'll do const, we'll give something like this, create payment JSON. Now let's do this one step by step. So we need to pass an intent here, which will be cell. We need to pass a pair, so we need to basically give the payment method, which will be payment method. So here we are going to do this one as PayPal, right? So this will be PayPal. Now after this, what we need to do, we need to give redirect URLs. So we'll do redirect URLs. So here we need to give a return URL, and also we need to give a cancel URL. So let's copy from here and we are going to paste it here. So for this one, right, we will go to shop and then PayPal return page, correct? And for this one we'll go to shop and then PayPal cancel page. Okay, so we given an intent, we given a pair, we given redirect URI. Now we need to give the transactions. Okay, so here this will be array, and here we need to pass the item list. So item list is nothing but inside this we need to pass the items, that what are the items that user is actually bought. So items will be these cart items that we are having, right? Cart items, will map it. So we'll do item, and here we are going to basically return the name. So what will be the name will be our item that we are having dot title, that is our name, right? Because we have a product title. So after this we'll pass a SKU. So SKU will be our item dot product ID. So if you see, right, we have this product ID. Okay, and after this we are going to pass the price. So for this one, what we will do, right, we are having price and sales price both. So what we need to do, we will do one thing from the front end. We'll manage, we'll see, right, if the sales price is greater than 0, so instead of passing the price we are going to pass the sales price into this price. So we only need one. Okay, so we'll keep only price here. So here I'm going to do item, we'll do item dot price, and then we'll do to fixed of 2. Okay, so this is done. Next we are do a currency. I'm going to do USD, and also you're going to pass the quantity. So quantity will be item dot quantity. So this will be our item list, and then inside this we have items. After this, right, so after this item list we are going to pass a amount. So amount, again we are going to pass a currency here, which will be USD, and we are going to pass the total, which will be total amount that we are having dot to fixed of 2. Okay, and then at the end we are going to pass a description. Okay, and we'll give some description. I think here we can give any data. So this will create our payment JSON, right? Now once we'll create this payment JSON, so we need to basically create the or initiate the PayPal payment. So for this one we need to import our PayPal. So we'll do const PayPal will be require. So we need to go to our helpers, and then we need to go to PayPal. So here, and also we need our order also, order schema. So we'll import order. So we'll go to model. So here we need to go to models, and then we'll go to our order. Okay, so here we'll create PayPal that we are having, sorry, not this, PayPal dot payment, see, dot create. So this will give you this create method. Here you need to pass this create payment JSON that you have created, and now this will give you a callback. So here we'll check the error or the payment, if this is successful or not. Okay, payment info or whatever. Okay, so here what we are going to do, simply if there are any error, so let's log this error first, and then we are going to return res.status of 500.json success false, and message will do error while creating PayPal payment. Okay, so this will be our error. Else if it is successful, so we'll create our new order, right? So we'll do newly created order, which will be new order that from our schema, and then we need to pass a lot of things, like whatever things that we are having here. Now some things we need to make a change. Now if you notice, right, we have a user ID that we are going to pass, cart items, address info, order status. We're going to pass from our front end, we'll pass this one as pending, payment method will pass whatever, payment status also will pass pending, right? And or total amount will pass, order date will pass, order update date, these both will be today's date. Payment ID will pass empty, and pair ID also we are going to pass here. Alright, so after this, we, as I already told you, that we'll get approval link. So here we'll do approval link, or let's do this on URL, and here we'll have this payment info, correct? And this payment info I'm talking about, this payment info that we'll be receiving. So this payment info will give you a links property. So we'll do dot links, and here we're going to find, so what we're going to find, right? So we'll find the link whether we are having or not. So what this link will have, right? So this will have a approval URL. So we'll do approval. So the approval URL. So if this this payment info present this particular approval URL, that means your payment is actually successful. So now what will happen, this will give you a href that we are going to get. So now what I'll do, I'll simply do raise.status of 201 and .json, and here I'm going to pass as success as true, and we are going to pass this approval URL. This is very important, and also we'll pass order ID. So order ID we need to pass it. So order ID will be this newly created order that we have created. This will give us what? This will give us ID, right? So this will give us ID. So this ID we are going to return. Now if I just repeat once again whatever we have done, so first we are getting all of this from our information, and then we are creating this payment JSON with intent, pair, redirect URLs, transaction, we have item list, then we have items we are basically mapping all this, amount we are passing the total, and description, some dummy description. Then we are creating main payment instance with this JSON, and we will be getting a callback with this payment info. This payment info consists of this approval URL, right? And this we are going to return. Now one more thing is that when we'll do this one, right, again I'm repeating that we need to make order status as pending and payment method also, payment status as also pending. So these two things we need to do. So this will create our order, but the order will not be successful. Okay, so this will only create the order. Now to make this one successful, what we are going to do, right? For now I will not do this one, I think it will be difficult to understand. First let's quickly create these routes, and after that, once we'll create the order, right, this create order is successful, then I'm going to create this capture payment method, or else I know it will be tricky to understand basically. So let's go to our routes, and I'll create inside SOAP, I'll create order routes.js. Okay, now let's copy from some places, like we no need to, because we still have a lot of things to do. So here I'm going to take from require, and I'll go to our controllers, then we'll go to SOAP, then we'll go to our order controller. So we have our create payment method, create order, sorry, and here I'm going to create our router. So we'll do const router, this will be express dot router, and then I'm going to do router dot post. So this will be create, and here I'm going to pass the create order, and then we are going to do module dot exports. This will be our router. Okay, so this will be our router. Now we'll go to our server, and I'm going to import it. So let's do SOAP order router, and we need to get it from our order routes. Okay, and now we'll do app.use, so /API/SOAP/order. Okay, and then I'm going to pass the SOAP order router. Okay, so the SOAP and then order. So this part is done. So now next thing what we need to do, we need to create our slices, correct? Now one more thing we need to do, right, we need to create some couple of pages also. So that also we are going to create, but first we need to check whether the redirect is working or not. Redirect in the sense means whenever we'll click on this PayPal button, right, that time it is working or not. So for this one we'll go to our slices, let's go to our SOAP, and then I'll create a order slice.js. Oh sorry, we are creating a folder, right? we'll do order slice, and inside this I'll create index.js. Okay, so now let's create this one. So first we'll do const, and here first we'll create our initial state. So we'll do initial state. So here what we will keep here, so first we will keep our approval URL, right? You remember we'll get the approval URL, which I'll keep as null. I'll do is loading as false, right? I will also get what else? We'll get order I'll keep as null. Okay, for now we'll keep these three. If required, we are going to add more things here. Now we will create, so const, we'll give this one as order. We'll do shopping order slice. So here I'll do create slice. Okay, let me first import it here. So I'll do import from Redux toolkit. So I'll do create slice. So here I'm going to give this name as what we'll do, right? We'll do shopping order slice. Okay, and we're going to pass the initial state. We'll pass the reducer. For now I'll pass empty, and we're going to pass extra reducers. These we need, so we'll do builder, and we're going to add our cases. Okay, so now first let's export it. So we'll do export default. We'll do shopping slice dot reducer. So let's go here, and I'm going to import it. So we'll do shop order slice. So we'll do order slice. Okay, so we'll do shop order, which will be shop order slice. Alright, now here we need to create our async things, right? Okay, let's create it here. First thing, we need export const, and we'll do create new order. So this will be our create async thunk. So we'll give this a name as order slash create new order. This is our identifier, and then we'll take a async, and here what we'll receive, right? We'll receive a order data, right, or form data, whatever. We'll give this a name as order data. Now we'll do const response will be await axios.post, and let's copy the URL from somewhere. So we need till shop, till this part we need, and we'll post it here, and after this we'll have order, and remember we'll have create. Also let's verify once again. So we have create, and then we have order. So here we'll have 5000 slash order slash create, and then what we need to pass here, we will basically pass our order data. Okay, and then we are going to return response dot data. So this will be first create new order. Now we are going to create this in our case. So we'll do builder dot add case. So we'll do create new order dot pending state, and then so first thing we'll do state dot is loading as true, and let's copy this and paste it 2 more times. So this will be fulfilled, and this will be rejected. So for rejected, we'll make this one as false only, and state dot approval URL will be null, and state dot order will be also null. But when this is fulfilled, that time we'll make this one as false. State dot approval URL will be, so we need to get the approval URL, right? So we'll get it from our approval URL that we are passing here. So from this C approval URL, and we are having the order ID, right? So, and also one more thing I need to do, I think let's make this an order ID only. It will be easy to understand. Okay, search for order. Yeah, we'll do order ID. So this will be our actions. We'll get our action here. So we'll have action dot payload dot let's copy it from here, what we're passing approval URL. Okay, and let's copy this, paste it here, and this will be state.order id, which will be action.payload.order id. Okay, so we'll save this order id. Now this part is done, so we need to start working on the front end. So from front end side, what are the things we need to do first? See, first we need all the information, right? First you need the cart items you are having here. We need the address info. So for address, what we will do, we will keep some kind of button here that select address, and whenever we select that address, we need to store that this address is currently we need to deliver basically. Okay, so we need some kind of method here, so that on click of this we'll be able to select that address. So what we are going to do, right, we will keep some kind of button, okay, on top, select address or something, and then whenever we select this address, we'll get this ID and we are going to store this information. So for this one, I'm going to now close all of this. Okay, close all, and then we'll go to our front end part. We'll go to our checkout page, and I believe we are passing this address here. Now if you notice, right, we need so many data. So let's go to our controller once again, because it's absolutely required to go there, and we need to get like what are the things we need to pass. See, so many things we have, right? So we'll copy all these, and now notice what I'm doing first. So first is we have a button, right? So on click of this, we need to initiate. So for this one, what we are going to do, we need to basically first, again I told you that when we'll do initiate this one for the first time, that time some of the data we need to keep it as static, right? This is very, very important actually. So what I'll do, let's take a on click. This part I'm going to do little slow. So we'll do handle initiate, we'll do initiate, right? PayPal payment, and I'll create this function here. So do function, okay, let me just paste it this one, and then we'll copy it from here. So we need to create our order data, right? So we'll do const order data, and we will basically pass all this, but how we are going to get all this, I'll show you. So we'll cut it from here, we'll pass it. Again, step by step we need to do. So user ID, we'll get it from where? We'll get from our user auth, right? So we'll do this one as user.id. Cart items we'll get from here, but we need to again check that what are the things we need to pass in our cart items. So for this one, we'll go to our model, and we'll see like what are the things. So we need product ID, title, image, price, and quantity. So these things we'll copy, and here I'm going to map these cart items, and so cart items has to be length greater than 0, so we no need to check this. So do dot map, so do item, or let's do cart, single cart item, and we need to pass all this. So first we have a product ID. Now here, okay, let me first log this and see what we are getting here, right? So log these cart items, or else it will be very difficult. I'm going to first comment out this part here, and let's see what you're getting in the cart items. So console, so you're getting cart items, array of 2, and then here we are having, no, not this one, I think here we are having object. See, we are having items, and inside this we are having all this, right? So that is the reason. So we have done good thing that we have checked it. So we need to do cart items dot items dot map, right? So product ID will be single cart item dot product ID. So we'll do single cart item dot product ID. Similarly, we'll do single cart item dot title, right? We are having title, then we are having the sales price and also the price, and quantity also we are having. So image, we are going to pass the image, then we are going to pass the title. Now here again also we'll check if the sale price is greater than 0, so we'll pass the single item dot sale price, or else we'll pass single cart item dot price, and then we are going to pass the single cart item dot quantity. Okay, so these will be our cart items. Then we are having the address info. Now again, address info we need to complete. Order status will be pending, as I already told you. Payment method, for now we will keep it like this, like PayPal or something. Payment status also will be pending, right? Total amount, now total amount we can pass it here, this total cart amount. So let's do it like this. We'll cut it from here and then we'll paste it on top of it, and we'll pass this total cart amount here. So we'll do total cart amount. Okay, order date, we'll pass the new date, and then same for order update date, we'll pass the new date. Payment ID will pass empty, and payer ID also will pass empty. Now only thing that is pending, and that is we need the address info. So for address info we need to manage some kind of state, or else we don't have any option, right? So what we'll do, right, we'll manage a state here, like const in our checkout page. Okay, so we'll do current selected address, and we'll do set current selected address, and this will be use state of null. Now these two things we are going to pass. So set current selected address we are going to pass in our address here. Okay, and let's go to our address component. So here we are going to receive this set current selected address. So what we will do, right, we have an address card component here. If you see, right, we have an address card. So we're going to pass this here. So we'll do set current selected address, we'll pass it here, and we'll go to address card and we'll receive it here. See, step by step I'm doing, don't get confused. And then on click of this card, right, whenever I'll click on this card, I'm going to pass this set current selected address, and here I'm going to pass this address info.id. So if this is present, then only I'll do it, or else I'll keep this one as null. Okay, so now we'll get the ID, or let's do one thing, let's, instead of doing ID, we'll pass the whole address info only. It will be easy if I save this, right? So from our checkout page we pass this address to address card, and then we are getting this one. So if I log this current address, right, log this current address here, let's see what we're getting. We're getting null, but if I click here, you can see we are getting this current address, which is India Kolkata. If I click here, we're getting this current address. So now what we can do, simply we'll make this on much better, like we'll keep some button and everything, but for now do it like this, so that we need to check first. So here we'll take, and then we'll see what are the things we need to pass. So we'll have the address ID and address and everything. So we'll pass it here. So this will be current selected address dot, so we will have a ID here, you can see, right? So this will be our ID, then current selected address dot address, current selected address dot city, current selected address dot pin code, current selected address dot phone, and current selected address dot notes. All this is done, and now I'm going to log this order data here, and we'll see what we're getting. So if you see, right, if I click here, let's see what are the things we're getting. So we get address info. Inside this we got all the information. We got cart items, we got order data, order status pending, payer ID, this is empty, payment method is PayPal, payment status is pending, total amount is this one, and user ID is also there. Awesome. So now everything is done. So now we need to initiate the payment. Okay, so how we are going to initiate the payment? First, so we need to pass all this information in our create order slice that we have created, correct? So here what we're going to do, right, we'll dispatch. Okay, we need to get some dispatch here. So we'll do here const dispatch, which will be use dispatch, and we'll do dispatch, and we'll do create order, new order, and here we need to pass the order data. I'm not sure whether this will work or not, but let's see what is happening, right? Because I'm pretty sure we'll get some kind of error, but that's okay, then only you'll be able to fix it. So now I'm going to save it, and I'll give some identifier, right? We'll give my name here, so that we'll be able to see. This is how actually I also do my coding and everything. Alright, so now let's click here and let's see what is happening. So I'll give my name here so that we'll be able to understand. So let's click on check out with PayPal. Oh wow, okay, this is awesome. I didn't know this will work like in one go. Now you see we are getting success and approval URL. Oh wow, awesome. And order ID is also there, success is also true. Awesome. So now we'll see, like, if I also was stunned how this worked. Okay, so we'll do what is the data.payload, right? So data.payload dot success, if this is true. So what we need to do, right? So here we will keep one variable, and now from this point it will become very interesting and you need to know these things. So I'll do right is payment start, something like that. Anything you can use. Set is payment start, which will be use state of false. And here I will keep this one like, so set is payment start will be true, else we'll make this one as false only. Okay, now we also need to get the approval URL because we are already getting it here. See, approval URL we are already getting, right? So we'll get it simply from our state. So we'll do const approval URL, and then we'll do use selector, and we'll do state dot swap order, right? And what will happen if approval URL is present? See, if approval URL is present, we need to navigate, or basically we need to get out from our application and we need to go to that URL. Okay, and this is the important thing. So we'll check if this approval URL is present, right? So we'll simply do window.location.href, and this will go to this approval URL. Save it. Now you can see what is happening. See, we are getting to this pay with PayPal, right? Now the point is, what will happen if this is successful? I'll show you one more thing. See, if this is successful, if you notice that we have given this 5173 shop and then PayPal return. So we need to create this page so that it will go to this page, right? So let's quickly create this, and after that we are going to see. So for that I'm going to go to our shop, and then let's create our what will keep, right? PayPal return. So PayPal return.jsx, and also we need to do PayPal cancel, but for now let's keep PayPal return. So we'll do PayPal return page, and I'll just render something here. We'll just render PayPal return page. Okay, save it. And now what we are going to do, we need to go to our app.jsx, then we need to go to our shopping view, and we need to create one more here. So we'll do route, so we'll do path, so it will be PayPal return, correct? And element will be this page, PayPal return page. Let's save it. Now see, if I'll go here, right, and again I'll go to my testing tool, sandbox accounts, and I click on this personal one. Okay, first I need to log in. Let me log in. Okay, let's go to my personal account, and now what I'll do, right, simply I think there is an option. Okay, let's, from here we need to copy this, and I'm going to paste this testing account and also the password, and now let's click on login. Let's see what is happening. If there are any error, that we need to check, but we should not get it. See, now we are getting awesome, right? See, you're already getting. So from your PayPal or Visa credit card you'll be able to pay. Once I'll do continue to review order, right? Let's click here. So payment will be successful, and see, it's going to the PayPal return page. Okay, I think we are already logged in. I think the token is already cleared. I think not cleared, expired. So let me do the same process once again. So we'll go to our checkout page, Then we'll click on checkout with PayPal. See, it's going to this page. Click on continue with review order. So it's going to the, see, PayPal return page. Now if you noticed, see what we are having. We are having payment ID, and what else we are having? See, if I go right side, right, we are having a payer ID. Awesome, right? So now we'll be able to pass all of this. Means your payment is successful. So in this case, we need to call that capture payment method. I told you, right, we have two, one is create payment and one is capture payment. So now in this payment we are going to do what? We are going to basically process the payment, and if the payment is processed, we are going to update the order status. So you have this order status and the payment status, both will be, order status will be what? Confirmed, and payment status will be paid, something like that. Okay, so that part we are going to do in the next part. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the capture payment part. But before that, one thing we need to add, and actually apologies for that, the reason is because we need to add one more thing in our model. Okay, so what I thought, we need to add the cart ID also. The reason is because once the payment is successful, right, we need to remove those cart items from our cart. So that is the reason we need to pass cart ID here also, and this is also important. Okay, so this cart ID we will receive in our controller. So let's go here. It will be very simple change only. So first we'll receive this cart ID here in our from our request.body, and these we are going to save only in our database. That's it. Okay, so this is one change. And then from our checkout page, we need to pass this cart ID here. So we'll pass this cart ID. So cart ID will be this cart items that we are having, right? This will give us the ID. Okay, so this will be our cart ID. So this also we need to pass. All right, so this is one more thing. And now what we are going to do, so we'll start working on the capture payment part. So let's go there. So here first thing, we will get three things. So first we need to get the payment ID, the payer ID, and also the order ID. But how we are going to get the order ID? Now you might think like, because we will be moving out and then coming back, so order ID will not be saved in our state. So for that we need to do a little trick, and that is in our state, in our slice, right, where we are getting this. See, we are getting this order ID when this is fulfilled. So here I'm going to just do session storage dot set item, and I'll do current order ID. Okay, and I'll do JSON dot stringify this accent dot payload dot order ID. This I'll save it in my session storage. Okay, now in here, so three things we are going to receive, as I already told you, from our request.body. So we'll receive the payment ID, we'll receive the payer ID, and also we'll receive the order ID. Alright, and now I'm going to find the order. So first do const order. So we'll await, because we've already saved that order in our database, right? So we'll do order dot find by ID, and here I'm going to pass the order ID. So if the order is not present, so we'll return res.status.404.json. so here success will be false and message will be order cannot be found. Okay, now what we'll do, once we get the order here, so let's do this on let. So here I'm going to just update the order. So we'll do order dot payment status we're having, right? So we have order dot payment status. So I'll do order dot payment status as paid, and we'll do order dot what are the things we need to update? We have order dot order status. So we'll do order dot order status is now confirmed. The order is now confirmed, and also you need to pass order dot payment ID, right, which will be our payment ID that we are receiving, this payment ID, and we'll do order dot payer ID, which will be our payer ID. Okay, and then we are going to save this order. So we'll do await order dot save. Now once we'll do this, we also need to do one more thing, and that is we need to basically get the cart item. Now how we are going to get the cart item? So from this order only we will be basically getting the cart item, right? So we also need to drop that. So we'll do const get cart item, get cart id. Let's do. So this will be our this order dot, we are having the cart id, right? And we'll do const cart, which will be await, and then we are going to get our cart model. So first we'll get that. So we'll copy this, we'll do cart, and we'll do model, and this will be cart. Now we will do await, we'll do cart find by id, and delete, and here we'll do this cart id will get, okay? Or we can directly, we no need to get this cart id, right? So we can directly delete this. So we'll do await cart dot find by id and delete. So we'll delete this, and then we'll save it, and then we are going to do res dot status. So we're going to pass 200 dot json. So we're going to pass a success as true, and then we're going to pass message, which will be order confirmed, and we're going to also pass a data, which will be our order. A lot of things we have done, but this is actually required. Okay, so now I think all of this is completed. So we're going to pass the capture payment, and this one we're going to pass in our routes. So let's go to our routes. So we'll go to our routes. Now I'll create one more. So this will be capture, and this will be our capture order, capture payment. All right, so now we will go to our slice, and I'll create one more here. Okay, so we'll do capture order, capture payment. Let's do capture payment. So we'll do here capture, and here we need to get three things, right? What are the things that we need? We need the payment id, pair id, and order id. Three things. We'll copy these three, and also okay, let's pass it here only, and then I'm going to pass it here, these three. Okay, so capture payment, this is done. So now what will happen, once we will go to this PayPal return page, here we need to do some logic, because as I already told you, right, that once we'll go there, we'll be able to extract the values from that. So what I mean by that, so let's click here once again. We'll go there and we'll see. So if I do continue to review order, right, you'll see it is going to the PayPal return page, and you can see from here we'll be able to get all of this. So let's do that. All right, so let's start working on this. So first thing what I want to do here, right, so let's render a card component here first, and here I'm going to render a card header, and then I'm going to render a card title, and here I'm going to do something like processing payment, please wait, right? So let's save it and let's see how this is looking. All right, I think this is fine. Now what we need to do, basically we can make this one look little nicer, that is also okay. And let's see if we have any component related to this that we can basically use, but I don't think we have something like that. We need to create here. Yeah, I think let's keep it like this. The main thing is that we need to start working on the functionality. So first I'm going to take dispatch, which will be use dispatch, right? And here also we need to get location, which will be use location. Now we need to basically get the params, right? So we'll get the search params. So how we'll get it? So we'll do new URL search params, and here we need to pass this location dot search, right? And now I'm going to get the payment ID and the pair ID. So we'll do const payment ID. So this will be params dot get, and if you noticed here, right, we are having this, see, we are having this payment ID. So copy this and we'll get it here. Similarly we'll do const, we'll do pair ID, which will be params dot get, and this will be our pair ID. If you notice, right, we have a pair ID, this one. So this also will receive. Now what we are going to do, we'll take a use effect, and we are going to keep this payment ID, this pair ID as a dependency, okay, and also we'll keep this dispatch. Now what we need to do, simply we'll check here if this payment ID and this pair ID both are present. So we are going to get our current order ID from where we stored in our session storage. Remember here, current order ID, right? So we'll do const get current order ID, which will be JSON dot parse. We'll do session storage dot get item, and this will be get current order ID. Now what we need to do, simply we'll do dispatch, and we are going to dispatch this capture payment, and we need to pass three things, right? We need to pass the payment ID, pair ID, and order ID. So we'll pass the payment ID, the pair ID, and the order ID will be our so let's give this a name as order ID only. So these three things dot then, so you're going to get data. Now simply check that if this data dot payload dot success, if this is true, so what we are going to do, first we'll do session storage dot remove item, and I'm going to remove this current order ID, we no need, and then we are going to do window dot location dot href, and this will go to /shop / payment success page, okay? So this will go to the payment success page. So now I'll go to home, and we need to start everything from scratch, and let's see. And before that, we also need to create a payment success page. So I'll go to my shopping view, and here I'm going to create a payment success.jsx. So to create this, so we'll do payment we'll keep payment success page, okay, and we'll return a div. Later we are going to change the UI, we'll do payment successful, something like that. Save it. Now let's go to our app.jsx, and I'm going to use the same. So we'll do payment success, we'll do payment success page. All right, so now let's save it, and let's see what is happening from scratch. So first we will go to our checkout, then click on continue with PayPal. So it's coming here. Now let's click on continue to review. It's coming here. Awesome. Go here, you don't have anything in the cart. Nice job. Now see, this is done, right? So payment is now successful. So now what will happen, we will change the UI, and also there will be a button like view orders, something like that, and then the user will be go to the orders page, or basically this my accounts page. Here we are going to render all the orders, and this is done. So now we need to look or basically make changes in this page, payment successful, so that it will look nice. If you want, you can, instead of creating a different page, you can show it in kind of some kind of model and everything. That will also work. It up to you. Okay, so now let's quickly create the order APIs that we need to create to get the order details and also the order list, and that we need to basically convert it, not convert, we need to replace it here. So let's start working on that part. Alright everyone, so although we have completed the order functionality, but multiple validation we need to do, right? The first thing is that if there is no item, we need to disable this. The second thing is that whenever we didn't select any of the address, we need to show some kind of error, or we need to make this one as disabled, right? These two things is very important. Also we are going to show some kind of loader whenever we'll click this one. So how we are going to do that, right? So all three I'm going to do here. So first let's go to our checkout page, and I'll close everything else. So here you can see that we are having this current selected address. So if this is null, right, and if you're trying to click on this button, we need to basically show this. So here we can simply do something like this. Let's say if this current selected address, if this is null, correct? So what we are going to do, we'll render a toast, so that user will be able to understand that okay, this is the mistake that we have done, we need to select something. So here we'll do like toast, right? So we'll do toast, and we'll do not success. This will be title, please select one address to proceed, right? And also we are going to keep a variant which will be destructive, and then we need to return it from here. Okay, so now let's see if I try to click here, right? See, please select one address. Similarly, if we don't have anything in the cart, right, so that also we need to check. Both will check here. So if here only we'll check that if cart items dot length is equal. So why I'm not disabling, because user will not understand why the button is disabled, so it's always better to show some kind of message. So look, please add some, your cart is empty, so your cart is empty, please add items to proceed. Same thing. Okay, so now let's say if you click here, your cart is empty, but if I go here in the, let's say, main section, add this one, and now I'll go to checkout, but if I still try to click here, right, you need to select one address, right? This is very important. Okay, so this is one thing I just also we can do some kind of improvement, like we can select this one, that also will do, but first let's complete the order functionality, means order page and everything. Okay, so what we are going to do, simply let's go to our order controllers, and here I'm going to create two more methods. So one will be get all orders by user, which will be async request response. So we'll do try catch. So here I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and we'll do get order details, get order details. Okay, so first thing, we need to get our user ID here. So we'll get our user ID, which will be request dot params, and then we are going to find the order. So do const orders, which will be await order dot find, and here we are going to pass this user ID, because we have added user ID, right? Yes. So if this order's length is 0, so we are going to return res dot status of 404 dot json. Do success will be false, and message will be no orders found. Okay, or else we'll just simply return this, the status of 200 dot json will do success as true, and message, not message, we are going to return the data, which will be our orders. So these orders. Okay, so this will be our get all orders by user ID. Then we have get order details. Now these also will be exactly same. So we'll copy this. Instead of user ID, we are going to get the ID of that particular order, right? And then we will do const, let's copy this part here. So we'll do const order, and we'll do const order find by ID, and then we're going to pass this ID here. And if not order, right, so we're going to pass order not found, order not found. Okay, and then we are going to simply return it. So we'll do same thing again. Why will write, we'll copy this, and we'll do order. Okay, this is done. So now let's pass it. So we'll do get all orders by user and get order details. Alright, so now let's go to our route. So we'll do get all order by user and get order details. So both will be get, right? So this will be, let's give this on name as order slash list, and then we are going to pass the user ID, and this will be details, and then we are going to pass the ID. So for this one, this will be get all orders by user, and this will be get order details. That's it. So I think this is done. So now let's go to our slice, and not here, we need to go to slice, order slice, and we need to create two more. Before that also we need to create one, which will be our order list, and also order details, which will be null. Okay, so now let's create two more async thunk. So I'm going to copy this, paste it 2 times. So we'll do this one as get all orders by user. Let's do user ID, and we'll do get order details. Okay, so for this one, this will be slash order slash list, and then user ID we need to pass. Okay, so let's do this on template literals, and here we are going to receive the ID or the user ID, which we need to pass it here. Okay, we don't need to do any of this, and we can make this on access.get. Also we need to change the identifier. Sorry, I think we haven't changed the identifier for this, right? Okay, we need to change it, capture payment. Okay, so this is done. Next thing for these details, I think we have done details and then ID. So this will be almost same. So we'll copy this from here, paste it. Instead of this, we'll be having details. Sorry, this will be details, this will be ID, and here we are going to get the ID. Okay, we can remove this part, and this also will be get. Alright, so I think this is done. We have order details and order list. So now let's create this add cases. So I'll copy this, paste it 3 times. So this will be get all orders by user ID pending, state.isLoading will be true. For this one, this will be fulfilled. So state.isLoading will be false, and state.order list will be action. Okay, action we need to take. So this will be action.payload.data. Okay, and when this is rejected, so that time this will be false, and order list will be empty array. So this is done. Next, what you're going to do, we'll copy this and paste it once again. So this will be our get order details dot pending, get order details dot fulfilled, and get order details dot rejected. So here we just need to do order details instead of that, and this will be null. That's it. So now I think we have done this. So what we need to do, we need to go to our orders page, right? So we have our account page, then we have our shopping orders, and then here we are going to call this. So we are having this order history and everything right here. So we'll do const, we'll do dispatch equal to use dispatch. Also we need the ID, so we'll get the ID from our selector. So we'll do use selector, do state, and we'll do here state.auth. So we'll do use effect, and here I'm going to pass this dispatch, and we'll do dispatch get all other orders by user ID, and here I'm going to pass the user.id. right? So now this should get the orders, and then we are going to get the order list. So we'll do order list, and this will be from our shop order reducer, and we will see what we're getting in this order list. Now we'll be having so many orders because there can be some dummy orders that we have created for testing, right? So that is the reason. So let's see what is happening. If I go to inspect, go to console, let's go to our account. See, we're getting so many orders right here. So we are having, see, we are having order status, then pair ID and everything. For some we don't have. So what we need to do, right, for now, okay, I'm going to, so what I'll do, right, I'm going to render all these, but I'm going to delete from our database because we don't need. That time we have done because some of the orders obviously will fail and everything because we were doing testing that time. But this is okay, we are getting the order details, that is actually okay. So now what I'm going to do, right, is order, what are the things that we order ID, we are having order ID, order date we are having. So this is our order date, and then we are having the order status, which is currently, sorry, not this one, which is confirmed, you can see. Then we are having the price, total amount. What else we can render? For now I think we can render these, and then on click of view details we are going to render the other things, correct? So what we will do, simply here we are having the table row, correct? So I'm going to wrap this order list and an order list dot length if this is greater than 0. So I'll do order list dot map, I'll do order item, and now here I'm going to wrap this, or else we are going to render null. And now here we are going to render like order item dot id, correct? Then for date what I'll do, right, I'll just render this part. So I'm going to split it with t for the date. So we'll do order item, sorry, order item dot, we are having the order date. So we'll do order item dot order date, and then I'll do this on a split with t, and then I'm going to take the first item, okay? Then we are having the ordered status. So we'll render the order item dot order status and also the total price. So we'll do order item dot total price. So now let's save it. So you can see, okay, I think total amount we have, not total price, right? So we have total amount. Alright, so now we are getting all of this. So here we are having only one confirmed, right? You can see we can also give some kind of badge here. See, I'm not sure how this will look, but let's see how this is looking. I think we have added this badge component in some place, right? So let's see where we have added. Here I think we have added badge. Okay, so I'm going to use this and we'll see how this is looking, okay? So we'll have an ordered status, correct? And if I just do a badge here, let's see. Okay, this is not looking that much bad, but I'll give a class name here. We'll do a, let's give a padding of 4. Let's give padding of 2. Now we'll do px of no, py of we'll do 1 and px of we'll do 3. Okay, for confirmed we can give some green background for this one, so that also will add, I think it will look good. So here, right, we'll check if this order item dot order status, if this is equal to confirmed, then I'll do a bg of, let's give this one green, or else we'll do bg of black. Awesome, this is looking good, right? So now you can see we are getting all this. Now on click of this we need to fetch the order details, and then I think this will be done. See, for admin view, again I'm mentioning this part will be exactly same, because for admin what will happen, right, we'll be able to fetch all the details, all the orders from all the users, and then we'll be able to update the status. So let's do that in the next part. Alright everyone, so now we will start working on the details. Okay, so details will be now what we're going to do, right? Instead of opening this model directly, first we are going to fetch it, and then once we'll get the data back, that time we are going to show it. So we have this button right here. There is some button, okay, this one. So here, instead of doing this directly, now what I'm going to do, right? So we'll do handle fetch order details. We need the ID, right? So we need the ID, correct? So we need the ID here, and we'll do order item dot ID. Okay, so we'll get this. We'll do handle fetch order details. So let's do it here. So we'll do function handle order details. We'll do get ID, right? So we'll do dispatch. So we'll do get order details, and here we need to pass the order ID, so which will be my get ID, right? So this we are going to fetch it. Now what will happen, we will be getting the order details from here, right? So we'll get the order details. So sorry if you're getting noise, I can't do anything. These people are very annoying actually, my friends. Okay, these people will be talking so much. So here we'll be getting the order details now, and then what we'll do, right? If we'll check here that if this order details is not null, then only we are going to open that. So we'll do if order details is not equal to null, then only I'll do set open dialog. This will be true. Okay, let's save it. Now let's see what is happening. I'll open our inspect, and let's go to network, and now I'm going to open this one. Click here. See, now it's opening, right? And you will be getting all the information. Now we will be getting our order details, right? But one more thing we need to do, when you'll close this, right, that time we need to basically reset this. So how we are going to do that? So for this one, we have this handset on. Okay, let's do one thing. We will do one thing. Okay, we need to do this one. I think this is important. So we'll go to our slice, and here I'm going to create one reducer, and this will be set order details. Okay, and this will be we'll take state and action, although this is actually not required. So what we'll do, right, we'll do, or let's make this one reset order details. So we'll do state dot order details will be null. We actually don't need this one. And this reset order details, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass it here. So we'll do export const, and this will be reset order details, which will be shopping order slice dot actions. Okay, now when I will go to this model, okay, something is happening here. Okay, let's do one thing. We need to go to this dialog. Where is that? In this dialog. So we'll go here, and then not here. Okay, we have some component, right? Shopping order details view. Sorry, I'm checking that one. Okay, here what we're going to do, right, we have a dialog content, but not here. Where we need to do this on open change, here we need to do it. So here we are going to basically make set open, this will be false, and then we'll do dispatch, and I'll do reset order details. Okay, so I'm going to reset this order details every time I'll close this. Now let's save it. Now let's see if I now refresh this page, we'll be getting this. Now let's click here, opening, now close, and if I click here, now it will be opening, close, and even if I just change it and then come back, then also it will be getting this. Okay, so now we are getting all of this. We need to now change all data in our order details page. Let me pause for some time. I think these people will be talking so much, and after some time I'll again resume and start that. Alright, so let's render the order details now. So what we are going to do, so first we will pass these order details in the shopping order details view as a prop. Okay, let's save it, and now let's go here, and then we'll receive it here. So the first we have the order ID. So let's I think we have already logged this here, right? We have a order details log here. So let's see what we are getting in this order details. So open console. So we'll do order details, which is null. Now let's click any order details. So let's click this one. So you can see that we are getting all this. So we have ID. So let's render it. So we'll do order details dot ID. Then we have the order date. So order date, again we can split it and then we can show it. So we'll do here order details dot order date dot split with, so we'll do dot split with t, and then we'll do 0. Then we have the price, which will be our total price, right? So we'll do order details dot total amount. Then we are having the order status. Okay, so for order status we'll render this order status here. So we'll do order details dot order status. For this one also, let's render this batch component that we have rendered, right? So we have this order details, sorry, this badge here. So let's copy this and I'm going to render it inside this label. So paste it here. So we'll do if this order details dot order status, if this is confirmed, we will show this, or else this will be background of black. And let's remove this part from here, and also you need to import this badge component. So let's save it and let's see. So you can see that we are getting order status, order date, order price, and order status is now confirmed. After this we also need to render some more thing, and that is what else we can render. Okay, so first thing, let's render the cart items. So in the cart items we'll keep this one simply rendering this product name, or basically the title of the product, which will be this one, and also let's render the quantity along with the price. So here we are having this order details, we are having this eval, and here I'm going to map this. We'll do order details dot, so we have the cart items, so we'll do cart items and order details dot cart items dot length is greater than 0. So we'll do order details dot cart items dot map, so we'll do item, and then we are going to render this li, or else this will be null. Obviously there has to be some product, but still let's give this. Okay, so you pasted in the wrong place. So here, now here I'm going to render the item dot title, so do item dot title, and this will be item of price, or item dot price. Okay, and also after this, if let's render the quantity also here. So do quantity. So let's see how this is looking. Okay, we need to remove this one. Okay, and if this is looking little weird, this one we can also give like title this. Okay, let's see how this is looking. I'll give this one product name or title. Let's give this one as quantity and this one as price. Alright, then we are having the shipping info. For shipping info you already have the address info, so this we are going to render. So we will take the name, so name will be what, our username, right? So we can take this from our user, so we'll do const user, which will be use selector of state, and we'll do state dot auth, and then we are going to render the username. So we'll do here username, user dot username. So here address will be ordered state details dot address info dot address. Let's copy this and paste it here. Same here, phone, and also in notes. Now we're going to change this, so this will be notes, this will be phone, this will be pin code, and this will be city. Okay, and after this, have we rendered anything else? I think we don't have anything else, but what we can render right after this, we can render this payment method and payment status and total amount. I think we already have done. So let's do one thing, right? So after this part where we render the total amount, so if this total amount, right? So here we are going to render this payment method and payment status. So we'll do payment method. So payment method is this one. So here we're going to do this one as payment method, and this will be payment method, and this will be our payment status. Okay, we no need this one, and this will be payment status. Payment status will be paid, right? Or it's pending. Payment status, and this is done. Now you can see this is looking fine. If I open any other, let's open this. So we're getting this. Let's open this one. We're getting this. Let's open any other. We're getting now 2 here. This is fine. These all things we can manage. If you want to do, you can keep create some table also here, but first we need to see whether order date, ID, price, total price or the order price, payment method, payment status, order details, and shipping info. And I think this will be more than enough. Now what will be the next thing? So next thing, the same thing we are going to render in our admin view also, if you remember, right? So what we'll do, simply we'll copy the same component and we'll render here. The only difference is we'll be having that this select option, right, where we'll be able to update the status of this particular order. So let's start working on that part. So let's copy this here, and I'm going to open incognito. So here I'm going to log in with my admin user. So we have products and we have orders. So here also we need to do the same things that whatever we have done in the admin view, correct? So let's go to the admin view. We'll go to orders and we'll go to the order details. Now for the admin view, what we'll do, right, we'll create same controller, but we will manage it in our admin part. So here we have this order controller where we are getting get all order by user. If you noticed here, right, for admin view what we're going to do, we'll be getting all the orders from all the users. So that will be the only difference. So what we can do, simply so let's go to our admin view, and I'm going to create here one more, which will be let's give this one as order controller.js. Now instead of rewriting the same thing, because we have still a lot of things to do, I'm going to copy most of the things now. Okay, and the reason why I'm copying, because it's not a different code, so that you will not understand. I'm copying the exact same code, okay, whatever we've written. So the only thing is that I'm not rewriting the same thing again and again. So we'll do require, and we need to get our order first. So we'll go to model, and then we'll go to order. So this will be get all orders of all users, and here we no need any user ID. I hope you are getting, because we need to get all the order, right? That's it.